The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
Welcome back to the best no judgment zone space in the world, because neither one of us have any law degrees. I am Oreo Shake. I'm marvelous.
not your average Joseph.
And we are the
Why
Podical
Oreo
Son.
Shake? Why?
Why?
Like the black and white?
I mean, it's the black and the white. It's the song that just played, late night on the Applebee's.
That sounds like something I would play at the Applebee's.
Yo!
Yeah.
Fancy like. That's what it's. And we are the Podical Son.
Sons, baby.
And we fancy like.
Uh-huh.
Let's start the show. Yeah. Yo. I don't know. That song just different.
It is different.
It's different.
It is
How are
different.
you?
I'm good, man.
Okay.
I'm good. That's the type of song that when you step into a white bar, everybody drunk and singing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I see. This is why when people say I don't see color,
Right.
when they say I don't see color and everything, like, no, you have to acknowledge that every culture and every color is different.
Mm-hmm.
You have to respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's the key component is respect, right?
Right.
Because you walk into, like, let's say their world, that might be playing. You walk into our world, we might have like Back That Ass Up or some shit like that playing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you look like, oh my gosh, what are they doing with their hands on their kneecaps and their back is gyrating?
What kind of suggestive dance is that?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I like the fact that we can know like, all right, this is a different vibe you're gonna get over here.
Yeah.
But as long as you're willing to understand the vibe.
Of course.
And respect
man.
the
Of course.
vibe.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
How you been?
I'm living, man.
You living?
God loves me, man. God loves me. I'm still alive. I'm still here.
Good.
Still solid.
Good.
We out here, sunny days on the horizon.
It rained like a quick few, and then sun just popped right back out. So I was like, okay.
Handsome men don't get hurt by water.
No, we don't.
Okay. I was about to say. I said, why are you flinching for then? Like, why are you flinching for?
No, we don't.
Okay. All right, man. Let's get into some shits, man. Are fairy tales damaging to children? First poll says 53% said they are not. 53% is kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. How do you feel?
I don't think they are.
You don't think? I think they are.
You think they are?
Yeah. Tell me why you, and I'll tell you about me.
Well, for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
all the fairy tales that I heard of, just some short little lessons that had to be explained actually after the fairy tale. Because I wasn't, usually when you get it, you're not old enough to even understand what they're trying to portray or say. So whether it be a teacher or maybe a mom or pop who's giving the fairy tale, they might say, and this is why you don't make friends with certain people. Or they always try to give you a little lesson at the end. So when they give you the little lesson at the end, it's always on some type of teaching type of vibe. Now, if you don't get the lesson on the end, probably if you have a wild imagination, might be damaging to you. I could see that in a sense.
You don't think somebody thinking that if their followers are not up, that's not damaging to the, like, most of these people are living in fairy tale worlds, fairy tales and fantasies already.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, like, that if that was the start of it, this is the reason why. Because I want to say most of the teachers that I remember from grade school reading like any kind of books, I remember Cinderella is the most like replayed fairy tale and stuff out here, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to say when you don't get the Cinderellas and stuff, when you get like the Princess and the Peas and all that type of stuff, or those other remixes and stuff like that, like a person like knowing what their worth is,
right?
You're not getting that full breakdown of stuff whatever as child or as adolescents coming along.
Well, and that's why I said for me,
right.
Being the age that I was when we're hearing a fairy tale, the teachers always say, okay, well, this is the lesson behind it. This is it. Like, like, you don't quite make the correlation, but okay. Okay, but yeah, I can see be damaging if there's no little insight given to it at the end.
Most of those Disney movies, most of the Disney animated movies and stuff like that, like, where's the lesson for Bambi?
I can't even remember Bambi. I don't even recall watching Bambi to the full extent.
Snow White.
Snow White?
Yeah.
Don't fuck around with Seven Dwarfs, man.
They saved her. What do you mean? That's what I'm saying.
Don't fuck around with Seven Dwarfs, man.
What do you mean? They saved her.
I didn't watch all of it.
Oh my gosh.
I was not a big Very Bell movie type of person. You know what I mean? Just, like inside kindergarten class when, you had reading time and they read you the tales. Yeah. That was more of me.
A lot of I feel like a lot of women and stuff today are still waiting for a prince to come scoop them up out of whatever shithole or hellhole they're in.
Right.
And ride them off on a white horse to the sunset and stuff to happiness. A lot of women are feeling like that.
But you feel like that's just the fairy tale alone, or do you feel like that's also part of a culture that's saying, oh, well, you need a man that provides you with certain this and that and so forth? Creating that Prince Charming type of idea.
But it stemmed from there.
You think it stemmed from there?
It did. Think about it. Let's say whatever sort of society culture we have.
Right.
Let's say it got established and stuff in the 80s, 90s.
Right.
Fairy tales been around way before that. And that whole thing was been embedded in from whatever leaders and stuff from way back when.
You think the fairy tale might have mimicked what might have been happening back then? Because back then, men were the providers. They weren't looking for women to be providing anything.
What do you mean? Say that again?
Back then, men were considered to be the providers.
Okay.
Right. They weren't looking for women to go out and work and provide for their own. So you think back then, what the fairy tale might have been doing was just reflecting on just regular society?
No, but that's what I'm saying. That because the thing and stuff is, there's always been a situation where husband has to take wife or guy has to take wife and everything like that.
Right.
So set girl, Mama Daya, whoever the little girl and stuff may be,
right?
She's waiting for this prince to come off on a horse and ride her off into the sunset, from whatever time, from medieval time and even scratch medieval time and stuff to like Viking time and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it's not even a society type. Either that or this is where society is based off of, because it's been there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that is what society is based off of. But
the times back then and stuff like that, we from what we see and stuff.
I don't look at it as the times back then women were ever looking to be like the providers. They were home wives.
No, they're not looking for providers.
Yeah, they were home wives cooking. So then that would have pretty much forced the men to be the provider. No, because the guy. I think the guys were already built to be providers. We're now. I want to say, if anything, we're now straying from whatever set course that was there. Right. So if that was the case back then, then the fairy tale could make the argument that we were Prince Charmings. So you better find somebody else like us to continue that lineage of providing. No?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. How you're spinning it and stuff, or how you're spinning it it's already been there. It's not the society. It's already like the fairy tale, like it's kind of like, say if this is a village.
Right.
Of like village of 10 families.
Right.
They're already folklore, the thing over like the campfires, the stories.
Right.
And now society's now basing off of set folklore now that Prince Charming is gonna come. Women, you need to get dolled up. You need to look pretty for Prince Charming to come to take you off to his castle, aka regular house. So you can now do, I guess, home stuff where you don't have to pay for the bills and everything. Everything's provided for you.
Man, I watched the Bridgertons. You watch the Bridgertons?
Nah.
Okay.
What's going on?
They got the I don't know if it's like a debutante ball or whatever, where the women get dressed up. The queen has some big ball, and then the suitors
come scoop and pick and choose.
Come and walk around and pick who they might marry. So it's a lot of high society snooting, and just like how you said, the moms is prepping their daughters. They give them piano lessons. They give them all these things that would be
stand up the cut.
That would be high society and that much more attractive. And the men, they just have to be wealthy and rich. You don't have to look good. Matter of fact, I think a couple episodes, when the women didn't get scooped up, or when the young ladies didn't get scooped up, they were like, What about so-and-so? Oh, he's ugly. Yes, but he comes from a well-off-to-do family. And he has money. Prince, no, it wouldn't be Charming at that point. They're just Prince Richabelly. He replaces Machiavelli.
No. Yo, it's been like that for the longest. That's why I was telling somebody, a woman and I, we were having this conversation. She's like, oh, how as a woman, she feels that how she speaks in the workforce.
Right.
She has to adjust and cater to and stuff before they call her, like, I guess, bitchy or aggressive and everything in the workforce. But I said, if the workforce, let's say, predominantly was for men for decades and possibly centuries and stuff like that, right? And now we're just now, let's say, from the women's suffrage movement to like now, that's a shorter time compared to like when it was just a predominant men workforce.
Yes.
So now the adjustment of stuff, whatever. Remember, we're saying even old racism ways, like let's say, okay, Juneteenth is about to come up.
Right.
Slavery was over from like way back when. But some of the teachings and stuff of like racism and stuff is still along. It takes time for some of this shit to kind of die down.
Right.
So I think the women who think instant change is going to happen and stuff like that, yeah. There's some drugs for you. There's some...
Well, I mean, especially in an arena of like business is still dominated by old white men.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's still old money around.
Yeah. So
it's
you're
still
right.
old money.
It's like until that sect dies out, they're always going to look as I'm passing this thing down to the next young male who I see, who I could either groom in my footsteps or is in line with already what the company is. I don't want to change the dynamic of the company. I just want the dynamic of the company to continue. He's never going to look down at a young, successful woman and say, you can handle the job. That thinking's not there for him. So you're right. It's one of those situations where
it takes time.
It's gonna take time.
It takes time because I look at it where you have the young woman and everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will be a specific type of generations and stuff where I don't want to say sexism, but I want to say they're at the point where, say, older man who wants to pass down the company and everything like that will look and say, they don't come from this time where they came from a time where they seen their moms and their sisters and aunties kind of bust their ass and add to their side of their workforce and everything so they can acknowledge said woman right here with the hunger, the drive, the ambition to help keep this Fortune 500 company keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then if they come from a generation of stuff where it's like OG, and then now Shirley, you're looking like, Shirley got a man? Yo, you have a brother that wants to run this company. It's that old, those old generation stuff got to run. And old money is still running fine. Parliament monarchy. The queen is still here. Old money is still running.
Still here. And the queen is only the queen because there was no male heirs
but
that her father had.
But Prince Andrew, was it Prince Philip?
Prince Philip.
How you married a queen? You can't be a king. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But if you're a king and you marry a woman, she can be a queen.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. British man.
Because if he becomes king, right? Then the line changes families.
With the lineage.
Right.
Oh, because so hold on.
It's very weird.
So hold on.
Very weird.
He's not Thing's father? Charles?
He is. But Prince Charles, that I would be interested to know the last name of Prince Charles. Or maybe not even the last name, the lineage that he still holds on to. Because that whole royalship, it follows the name.
I don't even know the fucking queen's last name.
I don't know the queen's last name.
Bitch, and you British? Really?
Come on,
do
man.
better.
I left England when I was like 1. I'm as British as a wallaby. That speaks nothing and knows nothing. Just wears the title.
Okay.
All right.
No. Yeah,
but it's funny. But even with saying that, right? The kings were there, and the queens were making a lot of decisions in the quiet, telling the kings, yo, do this and do that and do that. And a lot of people knew the queens had power. So anytime they wanted a king to do something or lean a certain way, they would go to the queen and say, hey, this, that, and the third. And then, bed talk, pillow talk, the queen would be like, yeah. And then king would just
I'm going to need you to save some people. I'm going to need you to shut up. She's like, I'm going to need you to take your pants off. I'm going to go save some people tomorrow. The power of the PUSSY.
There you go, man.
I think the fantasy thing where with the whole, okay, let me say this. Most of the fairy tales, if they're not given with understanding, like what you're saying,
right,
then they won't be damaging. But a lot, like I said, in today's time, a lot of people are waiting for Prince Charming or somebody to come in and rescue and save them.
Even in a time when women think they're better than men?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because we work for them. Superior women, inferior men.
But if we work for them, shouldn't they be coming and saving us?
No.
We can't.
This is a woman's world.
We can't have it two ways.
No, come on, you too. Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
I'm just in an equal partnership with my women.
I believe in equal partnership and stuff like that. But I think
that's all.
I think the thing and stuff is that certain cultures,
right?
Certain cultures have a way before they merge with certain worlds. What I mean by that and stuff is that you can have your Jamaican culture.
Right.
It can work well in Jamaica. You bring that like out into the Jamaican world.
Right.
You move that into the Canadian world. It might not stick and mesh the same way.
Might be a different song and dance.
Right.
Right.
Because it's kind of like, let's say if you come from a country and stuff where you beat up or attack gay people.
Right.
Right? In your world, you may not see no jail time in that whatever world they come from. Mm-hmm. You bring it to this world over here, like the Canadian world or the US world and stuff like that.
Right.
You're getting a discrimination charge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the cultural killing, like the honor killings.
Yes.
The honor killings and stuff might work well in India.
Right.
They don't sit well here. You're going to jail.
Well, I mean, even certain Muslim countries, women are not allowed to walk the streets without a company of their husband or a male.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas they come here, they strolling down the street, they strolling down the block. They're going to soak up all that freedom as possible. Meanwhile, the husband is at home might be looking at it, frowning at it, know that they can't do anything about it. But when the woman get home, who knows what's going behind that closed door is a different song and dance because they're trying to keep that authority, right?
Yeah. See, I don't... I look at it stuff what I know because I don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
But I know from what I know is that you have a culture, specific cultures and stuff, whatever. If I want to hone in particular one, but let's say like there's several cultures and stuff in the world where it's kind of like, yeah, men are supposed to just make the magic happen. And the women is just supposed to be subservient and obey. Right. And it's not just biblical aspects of just like specific type of cultures out there. And that's what I'm saying. When you drop that culture and stuff and bring it to the world and stuff like that, let's say the only job set guy can probably get is probably enough to probably pay maybe just rent. Other than that, that's just shelter. Right. Look how expensive everything is now. Inflation's going up. We need her to kind of pony up and jump into the fray. So at least like, okay, he got shelter, she got everything else, they gonna be all right.
Business world. Let's go back to the women not getting that equal footing or the opportunity like the male does in the business world. Maybe that might also have something to do with it because if you're from a different culture where the woman is subservient, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a Fortune 500 business owner, right? Or along that lines, right? Okay. You're going to do business with said company, right? And said company has a woman at the helm. Mm-hmm. If your culture is not to give women any type of respect or treat them in any type, how do you look at that company then?
They might not. But there's tons of times like even the alleged rumor of the old school Japanese businessmen.
Yeah.
If your company was run by a woman, or a woman was sitting at the table and stuff like that, they would pack up and go. They'll tell their translators it's not the company for them, and they would pack up and go. Because women come first, men come second. In the older Japanese culture, I don't know how it is and stuff now.
Right.
Right, but that's how it was and stuff before.
Right.
So now if you're in a position and stuff like that, then you're like, hi, I'm CFO, Susan, whatever. They look like, we've heard enough, thank you. They get up and they walk out.
Now, as the owner of the company, and you know you want to do business with them, are you going to put Susan as a CFO?
Well, I mean, you probably learn from that lesson not to put her again.
Yeah.
So you might demote her and everything like that. But, I mean, this is what happens when you don't own. So, let's move
Own your shit.
on. Next question, next poll said, are there more good cops than bad cops? 65% said yes. How do you feel about that? I seen a DM, people like, who the hell voted yes? I was like, yo, okay. Temperature is already changing. Talk to me.
With all the run-ins that I've had with police, I mean, it's not that many. But with the run-ins that I've had, I want to say I probably ran into more standoffish police officers.
So standoffish fits in what category? Good or bad?
Would fit in the bad.
Okay.
Than an actual officer that was just like friendly or helpful in a certain situation.
Okay.
So
okay.
I would have to off of my judgment, based on that, my answer would be I don't think there is.
Just a no.
But then again, that's just my perspective, right?
Well, I asked you the question, right? So
right.
I think I look at it where I'm going to ask you, when was your first indication with a cop, running with a police officer? Not bad. I'm talking about just in period, in general. Like, you probably were like 5 years old. You seen the lights. You heard the sirens. You heard the lights. When?
No, I want to say probably my first run-in with an officer would be in junior kindergarten when they would have like a police officer come in with Elmer the safety elephant. And they would just basically
Elmer who?
Elmer the safety elephant. A great elephant. He had on the blue police uniform and everything.
Okay.
But basically to teach kids about safety, right? And don't talk to strangers, this, that, and the third. So that would be my first run-in.
Symbolism for me, I'm just looking like why they chose the elephant, because the elephant is Republican.
I don't know.
And I feel
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know why it was an elephant, Marv, but it was an elephant. I remember distinctly. This is my first encounter with a police officer.
Yeah.
And he was nice, right? And again, it could have been the setting, right? And it could have been the job that he's doing. He's not on the beat looking for anybody breaking laws. He's with children, right? And he's just trying to teach them the entire safety. After that, wow, it would have been maybe years after that. But again, it's just in between that, it's just what you see on TV.
So
not necessarily
you had your good
sirens.
You had your good run-in, and then you're now watching cops on TV. Okay.
Yo, one time, this is when I was living at Nickel, and I had the bedroom right beside the driveway, right? I don't know who they were chasing, but they were chasing somebody, and then they caught him in the driveway alley. And all I could hear was ruffling on the car that was in the driveway, right? And I didn't get up to look. I didn't want to look out the window to be like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you looking at? One of those type of deals. So I just listened intently. after they subdued the criminal, I'm assuming it was a criminal. Maybe they didn't. Maybe he beat the charge. Maybe he's not a criminal. I didn't hear anything else. And I was saying to myself, in a situation like that, right, where they're on personal property, right, and personal property was involved, because I know, even without seeing, I know they were wrestling with this person on the car. You can hear that much, right? But no one came and knocked the door and said, "Hey, we apprehended a suspect that ran in your backyard. There was a tussle, this, that, and the third. There might be some damages to your car."
Right.
I don't know why I was expecting something like that to happen. But when I didn't hear the door knock,
you were taught and probably raised with decency.
Yeah.
So like if you knew you were damaging somebody's property,
right?
You would, the decent thing you would be like, oh, by the way, I was here. I kind of knocked this over.
Well, especially being officers of the law, right? That would serve and protect. You know, I would think that. So I'm waiting to hear the knock on the door, and I didn't hear nothing, and I was like, okay, well, I guess. What the owners don't know, the owners don't know.
But I think that's what happens in the movies. When I see high-speed chases in the movies,
yeah,
and the cops are involved and stuff with them, I'm like, y'all paying for my shit, right? If I was a person to get like, I'm in my car,
yeah,
high-speed chase with Vin Diesel made police cars crashing on my damn car,
right?
Y'all fit the bill for my shit, right? Oh, we're trying to get the suspect. Fuck getting the suspect. You better get me a new car.
No, but if a situation like that happens, you can contact the city. And the city will take care of it. So
you guys can contact the city, be like, yo, they put a dent in the damn hood of the car because they mollywopped his ass on the damn hood of the car.
But then again, right? Like I didn't eyewitness it. Even if they mollywopped the damn car and I go to the city and say, hey, there was a tussle. Yeah. What time did this tussle happen?
11:53 a.m.
I don't see anything on the police report saying that they caught the suspect in your driveway and tussled.
Start taking some snapshots. World star! Yo. But I was back then, so you need a full camcorder, stick out the damn window. With
a bright light.
Hey, we're shooting that bitch out. We're coming inside. You want us to knock on the door? We're gonna knock now. So with me and stuff, I feel like my run-ins with police officers and stuff from like when I was younger to me now, they've slightly changed. I do not feel like there are more good cops than there are bad.
Right.
And I think my reasoning and stuff whatever, I think, I know, for me, I look at it where, how do we start and then how do we finish? What I mean by that is like, all right, my run-ins were bad.
Right.
With the police officers and stuff, right?
Right.
Let's say I had 10 bad run-ins. How many good, let's say, do I have 10 good run-ins and stuff with the cops to kind of, balance it out or equate it? Right. Or say I have 12 good run-ins with the cops and yay or nay. For me, I have more bad run-ins.
Yeah.
I had more bad run-ins and stuff with the cops and everything like that. And I'm going to say good, probably like my accident, when I had my car accident.
Yeah.
Like the cops actually talked to me like a human and stuff. Because like I said, that day, after I know my son was good,
right,
I closed the door and the triage and stuff like that. And, I'm like, let me take some time to be grateful that I'm alive.
Yeah, yeah.
And seeing the condition of the car and stuff like that. So I took the time and stuff for that. I was in pain. But I still put my head down to like pray and be grateful and thankful. Because especially I had my son with me.
Right.
Right. And tears was coming out my face.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't bawling, but tears were coming down my eye. And then like the cops knew I was in that room, but I didn't really fully close it right away. So they kind of just came in and they seen the tears in my eyes and they see me like in a prayer notion. The guy's like, oh, snap, take your time. We'll come back and stuff. I'm like, no, this is good. Let's get this over with. He's like, no.
Yeah.
You were having a moment. The human thing and stuff is to let you go through your moment. We're outside. Flag us in when you can. And I was like, oh, shit, officer.
Right.
You're a good person. Not even a good cop. You're a good person.
But and that's why I say I think in certain situations, like some of them will forget that they're officers and remember that they're humans first.
Right. But I want to say, like, from me and my standpoint and my understanding, I haven't had that luxury of getting those ones and stuff. Like, too many. More to compensate or equate for like the bad that I ran into. Like that one kind of stood out to me. Okay, we had a dare police officer that came to our school. Don't do drugs and everything. Like, I remember him, but I also remember him letting us play with the damn, what's that shit called? The fingerprint paint. The fingerprint thing. And then the fucker had us like, write your name by your fingerprint. So I'm looking like, hey, yo. He's trying to get us in the system.
So your records might be there?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, the bad is still outbeating the good in my world.
Yeah. And
so when I see people saying, yes, there's more good cops and stuff, I'm like, salute to our Caucasian listeners, folks. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen, I had one time when my father was passing, right? And he was in the hospital and they were saying, hey, come now, like this is it, right? I was driving with some speed, right? And I got pulled over, right? And first of all, it was a black and an East Indian cop that pulled me over.
Okay.
Right? The black cop came over with like super attitude. Like, why are you going for so fast? Like, bro, there's no need for you to be so aggressive. You caught me speeding. You gonna issue me a speeding ticket? Like, okay, issue me the speeding ticket. But when he asked, I was like, honestly, my father is in the hospital. It could be any moment that he passes away, right? All right, so I was asking all these questions, and he asked me for my driver's license and ownership. Now, because of what was going on, I was in such a frantic leaving the house. I forgot my wallet. Like, I honestly forgot my wallet. So I told him, I said, listen, through all the commotion that's happening, I forgot my wallet, but the insurance is in the car. My wife is sitting right beside me. We're on the way to the hospital, right? That fucker had us there for almost over 20 minutes. Probably trying to figure out if I had a record or not. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that left such a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I've heard of situations where people get pulled over like that, and the good officer says, hey, follow behind me. And he put on his cherries and let you follow behind him to make sure you get there. This asshole held me there for 20 minutes. It must have been more than 20 minutes. And after he left, I just remembered thinking to myself, that guy was a complete asshole. If you were gonna give me the ticket, you know you're gonna give me the ticket. Just write me the ticket and let me go about my way.
Right.
Right?
Because you have license, so whatever you can fight it in court another day and win that.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I took the speeding ticket to court. And I looked at the judge, brother, right? And I said, I'm pleading guilty, but I'm asking the court for leniency.
Mm-hmm.
I explained to him the situation. My father was dying. I was on my way to the hospital, and yes, I was speeding. I wanted to get there on time. And the judge he all right, he threw it out. But it didn't even have to get to that point, is what I'm thinking in my head. It's like, bro, like, you get checked my record. Like, I'm clean. Okay, it may take you some time but it shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes, 25 minutes, going to half an hour.
Right.
So yeah, like, I've been in some run-ins where
the bad outweighs the good.
The bad outweighs the good.
I know, that's why I was shocked when I seen the poll. When I seen the poll and stuff like that, we don't set the bar, right? So right. I mean, in any case, everybody has their own experiences and stuff, and I was just like, oh shit, well, 65. I was like, kudos to you.
And to say that I don't think that, like, I know there's good cops out there. I'm not saying,
I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that at all. But I'm just saying the run-ins that I've had, it was never with good cops. Jeez. Except for the one who brought in that Elmer, the safety elephant.
Elmer. I don't know. I mean, I don't have no beef particular and stuff with the cops and everything. I sing a fuck a police song? Yeah, when it comes on. That song slaps.
I mean, it was my era.
Yeah. The song slaps and everything, but I'm not anti-cop and everything because you do what you do and hey, by your choice and stuff. I have friends that are police officers and everything like that too, right? Yeah. It's not my world, but it's their world, and they have enjoyment and stuff in there, and that's the main thing. Because I want to say, I'm hearing long, tedious nights and stuff, but from their side, they could be trying to make a difference.
Yes,
that's what I get.
Yes,
from my friends with the police officer jobs and everything like that, right?
Well, I mean, you say it all the time. In order to change, the change has to come within, right? So these guys, you know. A lot of this, look, some of them got beat up, picked on in high school, and now want to reign authority supreme over people, so they become cops. But then you have people who genuinely want to help, genuinely like society to be going in a good direction. And without these people, we'd have complete lawlessness. So we need them. Right, we need them for the checks and balances. Mm-hmm. We just hope that it's more of the good ones that we get than some of these bad ones.
Agreed. Are you a pet person?
You know what? As long as the pet's not mine.
I'm your kind of pet person. Then.
you
Cause me, I mean, I've heard some stories that, but like, okay, you've had pets before.
Yeah, I've had a hamster. I've had fish.
That's
Charlie. We won't go there. It brings a sad tear to my eye every time I talk about Charlie. Why you gotta bring me here, man? Why you gotta bring me here?
I'm sorry. Charlie's full story will be on Patreon.
R.I.P. Charlie.
Charlie's full story will be on Patreon. Podical Songs on Patreon. Yo. But, okay. Would you be more lenient to like a dog or a cat? Are you more a dog person than a cat person? Between the two?
I'd probably be more lenient towards a cat.
Why a cat?
Because I feel like you don't have to do much after you train it past like the basics of using his washing where it's got to use it and putting his food out. They're pretty much self-sufficient, self-reliant. They'll do their own thing.
But what kills
you don't got to walk them. You got to walk a dog.
True, but what kills me about a cat, whatever, is that these fuckers will like climb up everywhere. They want to snuggle in your bed and he ain't bathed.
This is true.
He ain't bathed.
This is true. But you got some dogs that'll do the same thing.
No, but true. But I feel like a dog is more likely to kind of go into like a water setting and
shake off.
Yeah, and shake off and everything. Like a cat might be a pinball in the bathroom and be like, "Here, whiskers," and close the door. Like, meow, turn on the water, and he's already doing NASCAR laps everywhere except for the damn tub. So I feel like for me, I could be more of a dog person than I could be a cat person.
Okay,
but yeah. See, here's the thing.
Right.
I've heard people say it. I heard my girl say it. I promote self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
I'm for the cat for that. But the reason I'm not for pets in general is because I got to do that dance.
Right.
For 10 fucking years plus if the dog is healthy enough and everything like that, right?
Right.
With kids, I do it for about like 3-4 years and they self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to stick with having the kids.
You're going to stick with having the kids?
I'm going to stick with having the kid aspect and stuff like that. But I find like dogs in their own retrospect, I think, what was it? The movie Cats vs. Dogs? They said that a dog, you can teach a dog 10 tricks. You can teach a cat like 1 trick or maybe 2. Right? So it's up to whatever the dog locks in the house, like a trick or a skill set and everything like that. Or if the dog had previous owners, he already locked in like so many.
Right.
Or at the time and stuff, right? So I feel like I could be a dog person, but I like how fucking cats operate.
But you see, I think the reason why you can train a dog and teach him that many tricks is because it's not self-sufficient. It depends on you. So the fact that it depends on you, it's gonna please the shit out of you to make sure you keep going on. A cat, on the other hand, a cat be like, nigga, I can take care of myself. You ain't getting me to roll around and fetch nothing.
Cats are jerks.
Cats.
How you went from fucking king of the jungle to king of the fucking city?
King of the city.
King of the jungle to king of the city. They be like, it's my block. This your cup? Fuck your cup. And I see cats just always knocking. There's tons of videos where cats just knocking over
And
shit.
just walk away.
And then
just
look,
walk away.
you see the meme I posted and stuff, whatever, the fucking cat was just, the dog would look at something like, my bad. And just shameful. Like, please, owner, I need you to take care of me.
Yeah.
Cat's like, what, human? What do you think you're going to do about it?
That
Human.
dead
Clean that
stare.
shit up.
Keep it moving.
What? That's what the meow, that's what
the meow means. What?
What? Test my gangster. So clean that shit up.
But I mean, okay, the fact that you don't have to walk this cat.
Mm-hmm.
The cat will walk itself. And the cat will walk itself for like maybe a quarter of a mile and find its way home. A dog can't do that.
The secret life of, you know what? It's so true. The secret life of cats. I believe that to the full extent because they had this one movie back in the days called Homeward Bound.
Right.
It was what dogs trying to get home.
Right.
And these motherfuckers was hiking and going far and everything. I can't remember if there was a cat in the mix, but I know it's majority more dogs than it was and everything like. And then they had Homeward Bound Part 2. I'm like, the same dogs are still getting lost again? Dumbass creatures. Whatever, right? But then, I'm like, think about the cat now. It covers a lot of fucking land. I fed stray cats before.
You fed a stray cat.
I fed stray cat before. I was looking at like, there's this one Garfield looking cat, whatever. I was like,
right.
He had no fear. I kind of like animals that don't have no fear.
Yes.
Of me. Like, especially like dogs and cats.
Right.
Like, I kind of like it's like a level of respect.
Yeah.
Right? So Garfield's like right there on the grass, stuff like that. I'm looking at Garfield, I'm like, Garfield's looking like this.
I was going to say, gave you puppy dog eyes, but not a puppy.
No, he just didn't flinch. And I was like, I can respect that. So another time I seen Garfield and stuff again, I was eating something like bread-like.
Yeah.
I just broke pieces and kind of chucked it and stuff. And Garfield got up and he ate it. He's like, then he just looked back. He's like,
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
He's like, all right, you're not that bad. All right. I remember you now. You now. Right. So, and then I was like, that's a level of fucking respect. I can respect the cat. But then again, I love a lion. And they're descendants from lions.
There's 38 different species in the cat family.
You know a lot about fucking cats.
And listen, my mom would own and feed stray cats.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't. And listen, I come from a Jamaican lineage.
Of cat owners?
Well, just a Jamaican lineage. I need somebody who is Jamaican to tell me how the cat got the nickname Puss.
See.
Pussycat. Where'd the pussy coming from the cat? Like, I would like to know that.
You gotta ask Tom Jones.
Yeah, ask Tom Jones.
Well, because he was saying, what's new, Pussycat? He might be a better chance.
We gotta get Tom to
Yo.
But if you fed that stray cat, right?
How many other people fed that
How many other people fed that stray cat? And if that's the case, does that stray cat know where to get food anytime he's hungry?
Yeah. I believe so. The secret life of cats, man. I think the cat, but then like you said, they can travel kilometers and stuff away from their house.
Right.
So if they remember their way coming back, they remember who fed them on the way and stuff and to and fro. So why wouldn't they go there for like rest haven and stuff for food?
Exactly.
On the way going back to the house or going to the cat club. Because I think they're going out somewhere to go jam out with other cats.
With other cats?
And look like meow meow, like, you know, it's 7:30.
Yeah.
I gotta head back. You know how
my owners close the door.
You know how these humans do it. They wanna shut down shit. Then my owner's gonna be in the backyard like, Whiskers. She looks embarrassing. I don't wanna claim her. All right, deuces, Whiskers. Be easy, meow meow, and then he just dip.
And he dip.
And then he make it back to the house. Stuff like Whiskers, you're outside all day. Come on in. Of course, there's tons of people gonna feed Whiskers and stuff on the way.
Whiskers gonna be fed. Some people say they cats go away for like 2 days. So somebody's feeding Whiskers.
Shit. Yo, respect. Should you expect people to work for your respect? Like some people and stuff. I met a guy.
Right.
Well, he was actually a girl's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right. A friend that I know. So her and I were friends, but I guess he assumed that I was dude. But she had a new dude she was seeing.
Okay.
So we were together and then ran to her brother. And her brother said, you gotta earn my respect if you want to earn my sister's heart. I'm like, I don't want your sister's heart. So he's looking like, so what you planning to do with my sister? I don't know. She's my ride here. Like, yo.
That's about it. Big
and then she's like, that's Marvin. That's not, such and such and such. And he's like, oh, I'm like, why does anybody have to earn your respect when they're just meeting you for the first time? So that's what I'm saying. Should people have to earn your respect?
Nah, I don't think you have to earn my respect. I think just the type of person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
If that's how you roll, then the respect should come naturally. No, like if you move with a certain set of decency, that I have no other options but to respect how you behave.
Well,
then the respect is there.
I'm a fan of like, you gotta teach people how to treat you.
Right.
And I want to teach people to respect me first and foremost.
Right.
Before anything else. Like you might see me like this, in my Oreo state.
In your Oreo
shake state. But I mean, it might come down to a point where I walk into a room and I'm trying to command respect.
Right.
So if you're looking at me like, oh, I would never look at a person, by the way, and saying like, you have to earn my respect. You could do something to lose my respect.
Yes.
But I'm not, you have to earn it. Like, no, we're equal yoke.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you move with a certain decency, then I think the respect will naturally come.
Yes.
Right? I don't think you don't have to earn it but that's you. Like if you walk into a room and you say you'd like to command respect, you're not gonna be a narcissist or an asshole about the way you want to get that respect.
No.
You're gonna move with a certain decency.
Yeah.
And the way you move with that certain decency, the respect is gonna come.
Yes.
Yeah. But to say you gotta earn my nigga, but what do I gotta do to earn your respect? Like everybody's different.
Exactly. And they're gonna put you up on their Fear Factor show. They're gonna be that bootleg Joe Rogan, and you have to do a set of tasks in order to earn their respect. I seen fathers do that. Like I said, in the dating world.
Yeah.
I remember I met a girl's father and stuff like that, and daughter and I, we just probably started talking. Probably like for a month, maybe a month. And I see her pops like, oh shit. In my head, I'm like, this is kind of too soon to see your pops.
Right.
But it's like haphazard.
Yeah.
Haphazard, it happened. I think she had something in her car. We were together, and then she's like, the father said he needed whatever in her car. Can he meet her? Blah blah blah. He's like, oh, this is right by where I am and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, we gotta walk back to where we were. We weren't too far from our car, but we walked. So she's like, we gotta walk back to my car to kind of meet my pops. So it's kind of like, hello,
hi sir,
hello, and then he gave me one of these looks like, I know you know that look. Trying to fuck my daughter. Like one of them, one of them looks. So I was looking like,
I was your age once.
But why do the fathers do that though? Do you do that?
Nah,
you got a daughter.
Nah,
I see. I think you chill.
Nah, I don't do that, and simply because I don't want you to feel like you have to be on guard with me. Right? I rather you just be your natural self, man, and it's just like I said. If you're a decent person and you roll with certain, I'll get it. I'll notice it and I'll acknowledge it and I'll be okay. That's cool. My daughter found a good one. If you're an asshole, I'm gonna pick up on that also, and I might have little words with my daughter and say, hey, I'm not too sure about this one, but this is you.
Yeah.
This is your world, right?
RESPECT. I remember the first time I met a girl's father. It was scary. I shot myself deep down inside.
Yeah.
I cried. Because he gave me a look, and that look said, "You trying to fuck my daughter?" Like, I'm telling you, it's that look. Because if I was a dad's girl or some shit like that, what was the Kobe thing? Like a girl dad.
Girl dad.
If I was a girl dad, I'd be like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Trying to fuck my daughter?" Yo.
A third degree.
Yo. Even if I know they got married, they have kids together and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You still out here trying to fuck my daughter? Yo, sir, I give you Greg. I'll go fuck. Watch your mouth, man. Earn my respect. No, I'm just
Girl dad number one.
Yo. Well, remember the first time what was the first time you met your girl's father?
I think it was...
Do you remember what you were wearing? And was he warm and inviting?
He was quiet. He's still to this very day. He's quiet.
That's part of his demeanor.
That's part of his demeanor. But they never made me feel anyway, man. Just like when I met them for the first time, it was
whose day? He got a
him and his wife.
Him. White moms are kosher.
No, but I'm saying I met them both at the same time. So that's like I say.
Focus on him. Focus on the task at hand. Father's Day is around the corner. Focus on the father.
But I think I want to say them because I think she spoke to me more. But him being a quiet person, I think she interacted with me more.
Because the mothers are more warm. The nurturing side.
That
they come on. Hey, baby, you want something to drink? Are you comfy? If I'd be like, fuck your comfort. You trying to fuck my daughter?
He's not. He never gave me that look.
Oh, okay. That's good.
He never gave me that look. It is cool. I mean, the other day, me and my father-in-law, we rolled up to Owen Sound to do some work on the house and so forth like that. So, I think even in this stage,
mm-hmm.
because my father's not around,
mm-hmm.
I think I may look to him more, being an elder statesman.
Mm.
For maybe certain advice for certain things.
Didn't know Canadians knew that word.
Elder statesman?
There's no states in Canada, so I didn't know the Canadians say those type of things.
You like that one, right?
I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
You know your boy out here.
Canada.
You know your boy be out here.
Oh, Canada. All right. I think the first always stands out. You know, we always have our eternal debate, first or the best and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you probably have way better interactions from the first time that you met your father-in-law
mm-hmm.
compared to like now. Like from, let's say, the first time and stuff, you had no validity in the world. And you guys have been married for over a decade and been together for, and the children and everything like that. So you guys probably have better interactions and everything. It's just the first. Because I feel like a lot of people, we go so far in life, but we don't tend to take the time to kind of reflect until like the end for like the first of some things and stuff. Like, do you remember your first kiss? You're a piece of shit.
Slightly.
Reflect after the damn podcast.
I want to say slightly. I can't remember her name.
You can't remember her name?
I remember what she looked like. Yeah. But I mean,
how old were you?
It was just a kiss. It was like, it might have been, I want to say senior kindergarten.
What kind of kiss was this now?
This was, the play house. I
don't know what kind of kiss. Like, your house and my house.
No, what, you know what I mean? The long smooth. Do it. The not French, but the long smoocher.
The English.
The English. Well, I am British, so it would have had to been the English.
Certainly, sire.
It would have had to be the British English.
Okay. So what about you?
You remember your first kiss?
Well, our first like kiss chips. Yeah. It was with an older girl. So I want to say,
the case is always an older girl in the mix that want to just
because these fast ass little girls. These little girls are fast. That's what my mom told me. Watch out for these fast.
Watch out.
These fast. I don't understand what that fast shit was.
Right.
Then years later, I heard Prince, Little Red Corvette. Baby, you're moving too fast. I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah. So, and my girl and I, we were laughing and stuff. We were playing Slow Down.
Right.
The Skip Marty song.
Okay.
It's like, slow down, girl, let me love you. Like, you know, I was like, she's probably moving fast on this. He probably like, hey, so what's your name? And she started to take off his pants.
It's so funny because as soon as he said slow down, the brand Nubian song came to my head. Slow down. Hey, baby, hips are getting it. Yeah. They've been moving fast for a long while now.
Fast as longer. Maybe that's why they want to throw him in the Fortune 500. So, grand opening, grand closing.
There you go.
I think first quick kiss. I call it a quick kiss. I was probably about like 5. And she's probably like 7.
Okay.
First tongue. Non-English. French. I know what grade I was in. I was in 8th grade.
You was in 8th grade?
I was in 8th grade. Yeah. I know the girl. I remember the girl. You're just a dick.
But I told you the first kiss I was in kindergarten. You want me to go way back? You remember the girl?
So what about your French?
The first French?
When you learned a new language.
Shit, I can't remember her name either.
You are across the board.
I remember what she looked like. I gotta count for something.
You're for the highway. Not me. You're for the highway. If I remember.
Listen. My car has come off the road a long time now.
Because your car broke down on the damn road. Because you were stuck there. And you can't even remember how it broke down. Yeah. How it even started. Okay. Do you remember your first job?
Yes.
Where?
Ewart College.
Okay. How old were you?
I was a dishwasher. I was age 13 going on to 14.
Okay. Cool. Your first outing after you got your driver's license? You'd be like, oh shit, I'm a driver now. We're going to the mall. Something.
No, it's just probably around the block.
So, after this podcast, not sure if Joseph will be doing some reflecting. He'll be missing in action for a week. We'll pick up 1 week after today. Hopefully the fucker will be...
No, the only reason why I say that, Marv, is because before I even got my license, I was driving.
Me too.
Yeah, so...
Me too.
To pinpoint would have been my first outing right after.
But it's like you're legal though. It's kind of like even if like you've probably drinking alcohol and stuff, your parents probably snuck you like a cooler or something like that.
Right.
At like under the age of 10.
Right.
But then the night when you became legal to go out to go drink or you went out to your first bar.
No, but you see why I can't remember that is because me and my best friend at the time, we both got a license at the same time, and he had a car. Mm-hmm. So the first time outing wasn't me driving.
Gotcha.
I remember the first time I got my first car. I remember that event. Mm-hmm. I was so happy. I cruised everywhere.
2 miles an hour. So everybody can see you.
And then it was so funny. I pulled up beside Andre at the time, my friend Andre.
Salute to Dre.
Dre had the I don't know if you remember or knew him when he had the ACK, the brown
Integra, ACK. The champagne color.
Right. And I was on Lawrence, right? And he pulled up beside me, but didn't notice it was me. And I was in the BMW. So I was like, yo. And he looks over and he did one of these. I did one of these.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Yeah.
You damn near ghost riding in the car. You're like, yo.
Gave him the cheese.
I just feel like a lot of people shouldn't forget the first.
Right.
The first are monumental and stuff like that. And they kind of set the tone for like where you're going. Especially especially from a young boy to a man. What is the most important thing a boy should know before becoming a man? Lessons. But you can have multiple, but what are the key important things you feel?
How to treat people with respect.
Talk about it.
I feel that I feel like that is the most important thing to me as a young man, passing that stage of passing into that stage of adulthood, because now you're dealing with people on your own terms, and more often than not for your personal being, right? So it's just like you said, in order to get respect, you got to give respect. If you don't have that down packed, I feel you're going to alienate yourself from a lot of people who are respectful and that you may need in your corner.
Do you feel like today, most of the young boys coming up don't have this level of respect? Because even like in your time and stuff like that, I want to say, like, did you feel like whatever young boy group you might be looking at in your head,
right,
when you were that age, where you and your peoples and stuff, or your not even, I want to say your squad, but let's say your peers around that time,
right,
were they able to give the respect the same way you're probably thinking about the pack of young kids now?
I think towards like their elders, it was there. Towards their peers, maybe not, right? And
so you're saying the respect like amongst the peers is not here? No,
I don't feel
Interesting.
that way. I don't feel that way.
I've never really taken that consideration, but you're right though.
I don't feel that way, and the reason why I say I don't feel that way, because I remember how I would communicate with my friends. And it's not always in a respectful manner.
What's
right?
up, bitch?
But as soon as I met a parent or something, like it totally changed. It totally.
Good evening. How are you? You might even take off your hat and everything like that.
Exactly. Right. And then it's not until like I'm of the age now where I'm dropping my son places. I'm picking up my son from places, and a lot of times he'll be like, Can so and so get a ride with us, or so and so get a ride with us? And I'll be like, yeah, no problem. Like I just want to make sure everybody's getting to where they're going safe and they're getting home safe, right? So if I got to be that parent, I'm that parent. When I go to pick up these kids, good evening, sir. Hello, Mr. Josephs. Like, okay, so you do know some manners. Like the way how my son be talking to her on the phone, I think y'all be nuts. But in certain situations, when you're dealing with your peers, that respect is not there. But when you're dealing with someone elder, I think it's still there. Now, the problem is now, when you're making that transition from a boy to a man, somebody who also be in that same position, you can't look at them as you may not be able to look at them as your peer, because they're in a certain situation where you might want to be, or you may need that help from that person, right? So you can't look at them and say, yo, what up, bitch? I need this from you. You know what I mean? You have to have that level of respect, regardless if you feel like you may be older than them or you may be one up on them. You still got to show that level of respect. So that's what I'm saying. For me, that's a big thing from transitioning from a boy to going into a man, is just knowing when to give it first and foremost. Because now you don't just go around throwing away your respect to people who don't deserve it. So
I like you. Well said. I like that.
Yeah. So
that was heavy.
Right. So know when to give it. Know who you should be respectful to, and be of mind in order to get respect. Sometimes you have to give it.
For me, I said there's two things. I said humility and accountability.
Humility is big,
and for me, I feel like that's for boys and girls.
Right.
For for boys to men and from girls to women. I feel like the humbling aspect, like that aspect and stuff, because I feel like in everybody's retrospective, you're great. You're great at what you do with the podcast and all the above, but you might not be great in other areas and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But does that take away from you being a great man? No.
Right.
I feel like everybody's great in their own way, I just feel like it's very, very harder. Like we talk about like the whole women and feeling superior, the men are inferior and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very hard for a commoner to tell a great person that they're fucking up. And we said men are more easier to kind of teach and do these improvements and stuff for them than it comes to women. And I feel like when it comes to a great person, they should know humility to know for a fact that you check for me, so you're checking me.
Yes.
We said that. So say the sun.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's on those kind of lines and areas where some people will look at like, if I know I'm great or you know you're great, and I say, Smooth, would you mind, like maybe you should try and do this or change this and stuff like that and everything. You'd be like, if you have no humility, you're like, the fuck do you know? So you do it then. That's no humility. And then the humility thing and stuff is like, you're saying this for the betterment of said business.
Right.
More constructive criticism. If you have humility, you will understand the constructive criticism. If you don't, you'll think somebody's coming for you.
Yeah.
Right? And the accountability aspect and stuff is that like when you become an adult, you have to be held accountable for the shit you do. Your parents aren't coming in to come save you.
No.
And this is what I'm saying, like we're teaching the kids, like, don't cry over spilled milk and like, hold yourself accountable for like the lying aspect, like, little things like, I didn't take the cheese.
Right.
And everything.
Right.
When you hold yourself accountable for this, you're gonna be an okay human and stuff, or okay an adult because you already own up to your shit. So you know for a fact you're not gonna put yourself into some shit that you gotta own or you gotta put your name on.
Exactly. And again, that's why I say like that the whole respect aspect, because you're now your own person. You need people to get to where you're going. You're no longer depending on mommy or daddy, right?
Right.
You got to make your way in the world. So part of making your way in the world is acting accordingly. And I totally agree with you. Accountability and humility goes a long way. I remember my friend Blacks was the first to tell me.
Salute the Blacks, man.
Yeah, he was the first to tell me the saying. I don't know where he heard it from, but the humble calf drinks the most milk.
What is that? Break that down for me. The humble calf drinks.
The humble calf drinks the most milk, meaning that if you're a humble person, part of having humility is being humble. It'll carry you off. It'll carry you a far way.
Okay, I get it. Just the calf aspect and stuff. The calf reference.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. This Confucius, one of those Confucius things.
Yeah.
Confusing
the fuck out of me. Okay, I was saying. Yeah. What? Pardon?
But possibly that calf is waiting for everybody else to do their thing, and then he coming last, and he just drinks all the milk or majority of the milk because he ain't fighting with nobody else.
But what if he gets ready to go drink the milk and then
The
no more
milk
milk left?
is done.
Yeah.
She might give him something special the next time. She might restock and come find him by himself. Be like, he didn't get as much as that you needed. You waited for everybody. You let everybody else get. So I'm gonna make sure you get.
Fair. Okay. So what do you think a young girl should learn? Respect thing? Does that go both ways, or that's just a boy?
I think the respect thing goes both ways. I wouldn't just limit that to my son. I would teach my daughter that. But I would say, I mean, I think yours goes both ways as well.
Mine's is a people thing, right? Because I feel like genetically we are built different.
Right.
We're wired different and stuff from like women.
Right.
But I feel like certain concepts and teachings we can teach to, I want to say, the ones that can do the job. Right. And I don't mean like the job in particular, but like set tasks. Yeah. So set tasks is stuff, you're going to give your daughter a task. You're giving her the keys to success to handle set task. Right. Right? Because you have an idea of what her limitations may be, what she could do and stuff. So she tell you like, I can't reach up there, I'm too short or something like that, whatever, right? And you're like, no, we got chairs you can stand on. You got this. You go, girl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know it's within her limitations and her capabilities to get set tasks and stuff done. So I look at it where it's something that can work for both sides, but kind of like Bible and for your interpretation, but it's kind of like information is for your interpretation. Like, how do you make it applicable to you?
To you.
See, and I look at it stuff as that there's things where might not be applicable and stuff too much, like on our side when it comes to the women's side. Like I always laugh and stuff. And I'm like, if you ever think a man and woman is the same, a man will wash his face with the same thing he washed his ass with and stuff, whatever. I woke up like this. And a woman will still have some problems with her shit. We are not wired this. We are not the same, whatever, right? But some will argue and stuff like, what do you mean? She-Hulk smash. Be like, no, not today, Satan. I'm not going to get into that battle with you. But it's just some things where it could be human level.
Yes, I was gonna say,
and that's
what we're talking
humility,
right?
Human.
Yeah, I was gonna say what we're saying basically is it's not a gender specific thing. It's a human thing.
Correct. All right, good shit.
Good shit.
Let's get to the question of the week.
Question of the week.
Question of the week. Would you buy your dream house if a family got murdered in it, but it was discounted 80%?
Shit, yeah.
We having a seance in this bitch.
I was about to say.
Exercise these fucking. Because my dream home.
I'm buying this dream home, and I'm getting a spiritual leader from every denomination. Cause I don't know what they were before.
But listen, put the money into getting the exorcist.
Yeah.
Because say your dream home. Say your dream home was like $5 million.
Right.
20% of $5 million.
Come on now.
This is what you're paying.
Come on now.
Use that leftover money. Get some seances. Get them ghost motherfuckers out. Hell, I'll clean up the leftover blood.
Shit.
Mr. Sparkle, you see me in my shirt. Yo. That bitch gonna shine like a damn Cash Money song.
When people come over, do you know what happened in the house? I'll be like, you know how much I got this house for?
that part. Because they're looking like, oh, this house is so snazzy and nice. For this price? Why? Well, we have to disclose that a family died in this bitch. You'd be like, I don't want it. I'd be like, hold on. Now that I know, you gotta knock down some more.
Right?
You gotta kill a few O's off this bitch now.
Listen,
I'm like, you want this shit, so you gotta kill a few O's off this bitch.
Just make it. Just give me a right price. The price sounded tempting before you mentioned a few things, but now you gotta give me the right price.
Make it right, yeah. I ain't mad at that, man. Let's get to the Ask the Sons and stuff and slide up out of this piece. Are you ready? First Ask the Sons question comes from Zero Thoughts. What is a non-safe for work fact about humans?
A non-safe for work?
Fact, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm getting what he's trying to say.
So I think
or what they're trying to say.
I think they're trying to say stuff is basically like something that's kind of like off the rate, like rated R type stuff that just happens in about humans. I like from one,
right?
There's fecal matter everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's fecal matter every fucking where. Mm-hmm. When I heard that shit, and they're like, even from people like farting in the air or putting their butts and people and the hygienic self.
Sitting on people's desks.
Yeah, all of that, whatever. There's fecal matter every fucking where. And that's a fact that I hate. You get it now. Wait. Oh, what is it? What is it? Eating pussy is good for your skin.
I never heard that before.
What is it? Is it squalene? Squalene. Squalene.
Right.
And hyaluronic acid. That's in vaginal secretions. That's in like female vaginal secretions.
Right.
So when you're putting your face down there, it's kind of doing your face kind of wonders. So it's symbiotic. It's symbiotic.
So, I mean, before we get any further with that, what you just put out there.
Yeah.
Squirting is pee. Squirting is pee. Don't follow Marv and tell people that you're out here giving men facials. Squirting is pee. Okay, you continue. Yeah.
I have a PSA too, ladies. Men will with the shits. Fuck what that side of the room is saying. We're with the shits. There might be a guy that might be like, yo, don't throw that pussy in my face because you might squirt and drown me or you might pee on me and stuff, whatever. But I don't think he's going to deny you throwing the pussy.
He probably won't deny him. Yeah.
And we're back. Okay.
Damn, I'm...
Yeah, and then remember, because the other, like, it was with the whole tongue, like, you know, with the inside of your cheek is made from the same thing as, like, the same kind of tissue, like a labia.
Yeah.
That's a not safe for should be. Imagine yelling that shit down the hall. That's why I look at if it's safe for work.
Right.
Can you yell this shit down the hall and in front of the public and stuff? And you'd be like, hey, the cat's litter box is over there. Safe for work. Hey, you know the cat I'll be up here shitting everywhere? Not safe for work. Floor is yours, not your ass.
I still don't have I'm trying to think of anything that was said at work that I had to second.
Well, even I'm a science guy, so this is the reason why I know these things and stuff like that.
Right.
The shit that always killed me and stuff was that there's DNA and everything too. Like I want to everything.
Right.
Sweat. So if you just finished running out, working out, your woman kissed you on your cheek, hey, she eating some of your DNA.
Yeah, I can see that.
From sweat, secretions, all that type of stuff, right?
I can see that, yeah.
So, I mean, look in cold case files. They'd be like, we found some droplets. They contain DNA in there.
We magnified the droplets.
Yeah. Some left-hand shit. Next question comes from Panda Antics. What is a song that you hate with all your being?
I'm going to say Macarena.
You hate Macarena?
I hate Macarena, man. I hate. As soon as that melody come on, it irks me, man. I was just like, oh, not this again. I'm sorry, Macarena lovers. I just hate the damn song, man. But I catch myself at the, hey, Macarena.
Yeah. I think, put like this, that Watch Me Whip and Nene. See, my thing is, I don't like to, Whitney said the children are our future. And when the kids are doing these things and they get like pop culture kind of status, I'm not here to shit on them and stuff like that, whatever. Even I heard Salento, he picked up some charges and shit like that the other day. And I felt bad, but I got annoyed because that song, I was whipping the Nene in my head for like forever. I'll be at work, minding my business, and I'm not doing the dance. I hear the bitch in my head. Watch me whip, and watch me, Nene. Watch me, ooh, watch me. I was like, oh my fucking gosh. You ever seen that meme with like fucking things smoking a cigarette? Makai Fife? Yeah. I felt like that every time. You're like, yo, this song's not dying, isn't it?
I think my problem with the Macarena is that you're not dancing.
Why? But they made it into a dance song?
They're not that. All they're doing is...
That's the dance.
That's dancing?
That's in their culture, dancing. Respect people's culture, not your average.
I hate the Macarena.
Oh my God.
Macarena.
Somebody's probably at their house listening to this shit. What is it like? I Macarena the best in the neighborhood. Just out here doing it. You see out here doing it. Oh, I that Christmas song that is it George Michael? Last Christmas, I give you my heart. Oh my gosh. That song makes me want to turn off every radio. I think one day I was in like Shoppers. Yeah. And that shit came on. I left. I was supposed to pick up something and stuff. I left. I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I'll go to Walmart. It drove you right off the store. And I was like, that song bothers me that much. Yeah. And I realized like when I was at work, one day they had it playing on the radio. I just unplugged the radio. I was just like, yo, like, they're like, why you turn off the radio? I'm like, nah, something was up. I seen it spark up, man. Give it a few minutes. And then we'll plug this bitch back in. I have a problem. Last question comes from Yoda 2060. What scientific achievement would you like to see before you die? That is a good damn question. We do something with this environment shit. Like, I honestly hope that we get, okay, the oil company thing is fucking rigged. These prices are astronomical, but I still feel like electric cars are still the way to go.
Yeah.
It's still a way to go.
Yeah.
But I feel like it should be, I don't know how these things work because I'm not, Charles Schwab, is it? Klaus Schwab. Like, I feel like we have tons of pollution here.
Yeah.
And then when we start doing certain things and we start getting off like the fossil fuel, some of the emissions and stuff like that, like, okay, when pandemic hit, look how the world was getting up. The pollution was down because everything was in lockdown and stuff like that. Nature finds a way to kind of bounce back.
Right.
Right. And I feel that if we start being more environmental friendly on some aspects that we can, and we see these things, I would like to see this change stuff to say like, oh, well, we're running out of fossil fuel, or oh, the emissions is that and pollution levels at this and everything. Let's say God calls me and stuff at like, we'll say 75.
Yeah. Before
I shut my eye and everything, I hear like emissions levels is at an all-time low or blah, blah, blah. And, they're using like solar power for some things like environmental friendly. I would love to see some scientific achievements and stuff like that. Yeah. Before I kick the bucket. Yeah. I don't got my money on flying cars no more because we've been watching Justin. Justin's been out since like the 60s.
But I don't know if I probably didn't send it to a group chat. They got a personal one man like hover car.
We dying together, so I'm not going by my damn self. So,
but then there's like, this shit can get up to, I think they said 300 feet. But he goes, yeah, but I doubt anybody's going past 30.
We're dying together. I'm not gonna go up there by my damn self and scream by my damn self.
It's a one man ride, man.
Yeah,
it's a one man ride.
Yeah. No, it's all right. What about you?
I'm gonna say nanotechnology in medicine, full swing.
Oh, to deal with like cancers and stuff like that, and like organs and tissues. And stuff that's
I would love to be around to see that breakthrough, like the machine in Elysium.
Right.
Where you could just where we're no longer worrying about disease and that sort of thing. No, we can cure that. And
this is what I feel about, like, the money and the affluential.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at him like, why Nick Cannon having all these damn kids and stuff like that? I'm like, unless he probably bought the cure for AIDS, because that's a lot of chicks you're raw dogging.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust women. Like, not women. People.
Yeah.
Even to that degree, whatever, right? Because you're like, how are you getting them pregnant? Are you taking it to the thing, or you're doing it the old-fashioned way? And I feel like some people have the technology.
Right.
Because through the history of man, the only person I've heard live with HIV for the longest and remain HIV is Urban Magic fucking Johnson.
He's magical. He's really magical.
Oh, his dollars are magical.
Yeah,
they make anything possible.
And he looked more robust than he did when he first got it.
That's the word, boy.
When he first got it.
Brawny, robust.
Am I lying?
You're absolutely right. Imagine like he's young and bright. Imagine like he got another 50 years in him.
Yeah.
We're watching the All-Star game this year for the 75 thing when they were giving out the awards.
Right.
They were wearing the jackets, the Blazers. I was like, when him and Jordan was talking, I'm like, Jordan look older than Magic. Magic hair, like Magic is there.
Magic is there, bro.
Yo.
Listen, whatever achievement he got.
I want that.
I mean, I don't want the AIDS to get that.
I don't want to need it.
But if it so happens. Yeah. Put me on the Magic regiment.
All right, man. We're here at the end of the show, end of the road.
Here.
So say the Suns this week. Are you ready? So say the Suns this week says, before you go looking for a new hero, check your mirror first.
So says the Suns.
Not everybody and stuff has somebody coming to save them and everything. And sometimes you got to be part of your own rescue.
Well, Whitney say there's a hero inside of you?
Mariah.
Oh, Mariah. I knew it was one of them. I knew it was one of those crooners.
Crooners.
One of the crooners.
I'm not touching that. First,
You're not touching
I just said earlier, Whitney said the children are our future. Like one of those crooners. Come for that side of the podcast this week, folks. But once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Like, comment, subscribe. Google Play, Spotify, we're everywhere. Don't forget, Ask the Sons questions, especially this week, was brilliant and lovely. We appreciate you guys. Keep on sending them. And once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.
Deuces.
7:30. Do you know where your cat is at?
What the fuck? There you go.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.